Hey guys, back again with another quick review. This time for the card game Sushi GO. Plays 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up. And today I'm going to show you whether or not you should go get it and how it's played and little nuances that I could teach y'all. What you're going to get in the tin is a deck of cards and a rule book. Does a really good job explaining to you how each card is used, and also in the back is a quick reference sheet. I have it set up for a 3-player game, but I'm gonna hopefully teach you everything you need to know in this video. So in Sushi Go, you're acting like you're at a sushi bar, and if you've ever seen one of those sushi bars that have a conveyor belt inside, you're going to be picking and choosing the sushi that you like. The goal of the game is to win, and the way you win is to be the player to have the most points at the end of 3 rounds. So in a player's turn, I'm going to show you how that goes. Each player is dealt, it varies. So like I said, I have a 3-player setup going, so everyone has 9 cards at this point in time at the start of the game. So you're going to look at your hand, and you're going to pick one card that you want to keep. So I'd like to start off with the dumplings. And, okay, you're going to pick one card, place it face down so nobody can see, and then you're going to put your hand of cards onto the side. And each player is going to do that. So let's say he goes for the maki, and then he goes for the pudding. Okay. So then at the same time, everyone's going to reveal the card. So 1, 2, 3, go. Okay. So everybody reveals. I have the dumpling. He's got the maki roll, and he has the pudding. And then after that, everyone's going to pass their entire hand to the left. So I would get their cards. They would get those cards. They would get those cards. And play would continue until there are no longer cards in anybody's hands. And then that would signify the end of 1 round. We would score up everyone's cards, and whoever has the most points wins that round. At the end of 3 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. So really simple game. I'm going to show you what some of the cards do. So there's 8 different cards. The first one is the dumpling. So the way the dumpling works is if you have 1 dumpling, it equals 1 point. If you have 2, it equals 3. If you have 3, it equals 6. If you have 4 dumplings, it's 10 points. And if you have 5, that's 15 points. So let's see. So if I had this many dumplings, it would give me 6 points. So that's pretty simple. Let's see. Next is the nigiri. Let me see if I can find some. Here we go. So you have 3 different kinds of nigiri: egg, salmon, and squid nigiri. And the difference between these 3 is that the egg nigiri is 1 point, salmon is 2 points, and the squid nigiri is 3 points. So that's pretty self-explanatory as well. You also have the sashimi. Now sashimi, you need to have 3 sashimis to equal 10 points. If you have 2 or if you have 1, it gives you no points. Next up, we have the maki rolls. Now the maki rolls are kind of tricky at first. The player with the most maki rolls is going to end up getting 6 points, and the second most person is going to get 3 points. So the way that looks is every maki card has a value, either 3, 2, or 1 maki roll. So let's say this person has 3 or 5. I have 1 maki roll, and this player has none. At the end of the round, this player would get 6 points because they have 5 maki rolls. I would get 3 points because I have the second most, and they would get no points because they don't even have any maki rolls. In the event of a tie, you split the points, rounding down to the least. So let's say we both had 3. Well, or yeah, we both had 3. That'd be easy because we could just split it. I would get 3 points. They would get 3 points. And if someone's tied for second, well, then they would both get a point each. And then let's see what else we got. Wasabi. The way wasabi works is that if you choose wasabi, you play it in front of you, and then during your next turn, if you pick up a nigiri, it's going to multiply it. So, yes, like you can see, it says next to nigiri times 3. So 1 turn goes, I pick up a squid nigiri, and then at that point, that squid nigiri is worth 9 points now. You cannot play wasabi on top of a nigiri that you already own. So if I picked up a squid nigiri the last turn, and then I picked up the wasabi would have to be by itself until I could pick up another nigiri. So let's say another turn goes, then I would put a nigiri on top of that. So that's the way wasabi works. Next is, let's see if I can find it, chopsticks. So chopsticks, they're unique in that if you pick this card during your next turn, when a player gives you their hand, you can say chopsticks, and then you get to pick 2 cards from your hand. So what you would do is you look at your hand. These doublings look pretty good. So I say chopsticks, put the chopsticks back into my hand, and grab 2 cards instead of the 1. This is right there. Swap for 2. And then when everybody reveals, you'd be the one player with 2 cards. So that's how that works. Let's see. Next we have tempura. Tempura, you need to have a pair for it to equal 5 points. So that's pretty self-explanatory. If you only have 1 tempura, then you get no points. And pudding is probably the most unique in that pudding you score at the end of the 3 rounds. And whoever has the least, including none, they would get minus 6 points. So the way that would work is if, let's see if I got more pudding. Yeah. So let's say it's the end of 3 rounds. Everybody's calculated their scores, and I have 2 puddings. This person has 1 pudding, and player 3 has none. I would get 6 points because I have the most. Nothing would happen to player 2 because he only has 1 pudding, but player 3, because they didn't even bother to collect any pudding, they would get minus 6 points because they have the least amount of pudding. So you always want to tally up the pudding at the end because you never have dessert before your meal, or you're not supposed to. And that, in a nutshell, is Sushi GO. I explained all the cards. Now, there is a more expensive variant called Sushi GO Party. I'll go over that in my next review. And all that does is that gives you a bit more cards, a board, and ups the player count to 8. As it stands, you're going to need a pen and pencil to keep scoring. But I feel like this game is best for families, just for, Friday night, everyone's home and you want to just have some family time. Comes in a small tin. At Target, I always see it in stock for $10. On Amazon, I've seen it go as low as $8. I'll post a link in the description above if you're watching on Facebook, below if you're on YouTube. And I'm going to go ahead and give it a Cyclic rating. Besides, kind of the cards, some people might not be used to like how the game works and card drafting in general. But after a few plays, the game plays so quickly, you'll get it. Small, portable. You don't even need the tin. It's just an insert that you could easily just put a rubber band on that with the rules and be good to go.